So hi there. If you're watching this video, then you're
Probably don't know which brush is the best brush on Procreate.
and you haven't figured it out for yourself. So here is what I use and what you should use. I think that you should use too. I mean, if I had this brush at the beginning, I would have been really interested in sketching on Procreate because, like, as you might know, I am still not comfortable with digital drawing and drawing with a screen because I've been drawing on paper. The texture was different. The screen texture is totally different, and the way my pencil feels is different. It's just all different. And I feel like in the past, when I was like sketching on the paper, it was so much easier because I would just draw and the paper would create the texture. I wouldn't really need to sweat over the texture. I would just like pick the best paper and the texture would just appear because it's the paper that creates the texture. And also, like, I would just pick the right paper that has the right texture and also the right brush and the right watercolor, and it would be all about the quality that I'm using. So whenever my drawing was not meeting my expectation, I would just blame one of them. I would just either say like the quality of my paper was not good, or the quality of my watercolor was not good, or my brush was not the right brush, or something like that. I would just, put the blame on the tools that I'm using. But it's really hard to find any kind of like tool to blame when you're drawing in Procreate and on your iPad. It just all depends on you and your skill. Like, if you're not skilled enough, you're not going to be able to create the right texture, or you're not going to be able to pick the right color, and the way that colors feel and the way you're using your brush really matters, and it's all dependent on you, like how much skill you've got. That's all that matters. And it's been really uncomfortable for me. It's as if I am starting to realize that my drawing skill might not be that high, because I can see that maybe I was like really good at drawing on paper, but now that I've switched to digital drawing, it's not that good. Like, my drawing right here, you can see that I am struggling still. Like, I don't know if you could see that, but I am seeing it, because my drawing on paper would be just so much better if I were to draw the same thing. And I am heartbroken. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but it's gonna take a long time for me to get used to it, like completely used to it, and like enjoy it in the best way, like I enjoyed drawing on paper. And my entire effort is toward making this process of digital drawing as enjoyable as it was for me when I was drawing on paper. And it's gonna be hard. I know that it's gonna not be possible that much. Like, it's not gonna be possible for me to like have the same joy that I had when I was drawing on paper, but I'm just trying my best. I'm just trying my best to find the right brush that feels like drawing on paper. And one of those brushes that I've came across and I talked about before was like the 6B pencil brush. It feels near to the feeling of pencil on paper, but it's not really the same. It's never gonna be the same. For a long time, I've been using 6B pencil brush, and I wasn't totally satisfied with it, because like, even though it's good for rough sketching, it's not really that good and like really practical when you're drawing a bigger piece and you want the lines to be finer and like more clear in detail. Like, if your style is more rough, it might be useful for you to like use that pencil, but if you want to go into the detail of it, it might not serve you as well. So what I did was to switch to peppermint brush, which I am absolutely loving it, because it has the same behavior when you want to put pressure on the pencil, because like it's gonna be more transparent if you're not putting a lot of pressure on the brush, and it's gonna become more opaque as you put more pressure on the brush. And that allows me to make a lot of mistakes and like go and draw some lines and pick the right kind of line that I want to go with. Try to make that more and more opaque and just like get rid of all the other lines by erasing it. And that's what I am doing right here. And you can see that like I'm trying to go over the lines that I really love and just make it more apparent. This sketch that I am doing right here is all by peppermint brush, and I'm not using anything else. So don't ask me in the comment what brush I'm using, because like in the it's really funny, but in the previous videos I would just say it right in the video, say that I am using the certain brush, and people are going to comment what sort of brush I'm using. Oh my god. I'm like, did you even watch this video, or you just clicked on it and you wanted to ask me some questions? Like, yeah, sure, I'm gonna answer you, and it's nice for you to comment on my videos, but at least just be nice enough to watch that entire video and really understand what I'm talking about and then comment on it. It's like you're in a class of third graders, and no matter what you say, they're gonna ask questions about the exact thing that you just said. It's confusing, but maybe I'm not the best teacher, you know? Maybe it's my fault. I don't know. Anyways, let's just go back to the peppermint brush that we were talking about. One thing that you need to take note of when it comes to these brushes, they are all in Procreate itself, and you don't need to really buy anything. I know that the problem with us as artists sometimes, like if we are really new to art, we're always going to be searching for the best tool. But when you look really deeply into your art, you really notice that it's not about the tool that you're using. It probably helps to choose the right tool to some extent, but it's not the reason that your art is going to improve. If you want to improve your art, then just stick to something that really works and then practice. It's all about practicing. It's not about using the right brush, the right tool. No, if you just practice, everything is just gonna come together. And also don't blame your talent or your genetic, because it has nothing to do with those. And I'm one of those people who's like always saying that no matter what, if you put a lot of effort into some areas that you want to grow in and you want to improve, like your success is going to be inevitable. You're going to be successful in no time because you're absolutely just giving it all you've got. And that is what matters. That is what is going to make you exceptional in that area. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's not even about the brush that you're using. It's not even about what sort of like app you're using, what digital application you're using, what iPad model you've got. Like, it doesn't really matter. What matter is your practices. If you're consistent with it and you're like taking in inspirations from different sources, and you go on internet and, you know, search for other artists and study their work as well and see what you like about them and how they're able to achieve that certain look on their painting that you really absolutely love. And that is it. It's like, it's not that difficult. It's not that complex. It's the simplest thing. We just refuse to accept that it's simple. And that is the reason that we're not fast at improving our arts, I guess. So keep it simple, and I hope that I can see you in the next video. Have a nice week.